What's up, guys? It's Trevor Gooden here from Clear Farm, and I'm here with
the Guerrilla Chemist.
It's not the fifth time today we said that, isn't it?
Live from sunny Florida.
Just wanted to make an informal video going over the Guerrilla Chemist's new pre-workout. His range is called Chemix, and his pre-workout is called Preworkout. I think it's very good that it's been kept simple like that. So firstly, I'm sure it's eagerly anticipated. Should we break down the formula?
Sure, we can break down the formula. It's now on social media, so you can see it. I know we teased the bottle without having the formula, but now it's all on there, and you can go to the Chemix Instagram page, and it has the complete formula listed.
20 servings per container. Comes in two flavours, Guerrilla juice and, jog my memory on the other one.
Citrus cooler.
That's the one. Yeah, that was the special one that you pushed to get through.
Yeah, that was mine. It's
a 15-gram scoop. So plenty of actives in there. Let's start from top to bottom. First ingredient in there is Pico 2 at 2 grams.
Right, so Pico 2 is one of those ingredients that I really liked and I pushed for. It's marketed almost as an alternative to beta-alanine, but I think it's much, much better than beta-alanine. It works on several different mechanisms of action, where beta-alanine only really has one mechanism of action. So it's a mushroom blend of 6 different mushrooms that are shown to increase time to exhaustion, so you can train longer and you can train harder, which is the reason that I like it so much, because I used it for about a week straight and I was noticing my workouts were much, much longer without noticing the fatigue set in. So I really believe in this ingredient a lot, and 2 grams is usually the minimal study dose. There's a buildup about 28 grams, and then after that you can take 2 grams a day and it works great.
Perfect. Another benefit aside against beta-alanine, such as the lack of paresthesia too.
Yes.
Otherwise known as pins and needles or itchy face.
Yeah, I hate that feeling. That's another reason why I don't like beta-alanine, is because of the paresthesia.
Moving on, pump ingredient next. So Glycopump at 3 grams per serving.
Yeah, Glycopump is one of those newer pump ingredients similar to Hydromax. It's a powdered form of glycerol. Glycerol, as you may or may not know, is a liquid at standard temperature and pressure. Yep. And so there are companies trying to get glycerol into a powder form so that you can use it in pre-workouts, stuff like this. It's not very advantageous to have it in a liquid form for this type of product. So Glycopump is a very free-flowing product. There's a lot of silica in there, and it just mixes better, in my opinion, than Hydromax.
It's more stable.
Right. Yeah. So I like it. It's a little bit newer, and I think we were one of the first. Not the first, but it's only been out for, I think, less than a year.
Yeah.
And so I've been playing around with it since we put it in the Mile Blocks Rainbow Haze.
Yeah.
Series. Which was last year. So I like it a lot. I like it better than Hydromax as far as for clumping and water hydroscopicity.
Next is a big talking point in the industry worldwide, I'd argue. We've got Canna, or Carna, however you want to pronounce it. It's a 2-to-1 extract, but it's in there a whopping 1,000 milligrams, otherwise known as a gram. Take it away.
Most companies use about 25 milligrams because there's study dose on 25 milligrams. There's a branded version of Zembrin that did that research, showing that it has natural SSRI in there, which is serotonin selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. So you release serotonin and then block its reuptake into your brain, so that you kind of have a good mood and a slight euphoria. I looked at the gram dose based on the indigenous people that use it. They chew the leaf of the plant between a gram, 1,500 grams at a time, and sometimes they do this multiple times a day. And so when I started testing out different doses, I found that a gram really, really brought out the wonderness of the medicinal properties of this plant, essentially. And so I think it works really well with the stimulants that are in there.
Yeah.
It also is a releasing agent, which means that it releases dopamine, it releases norepinephrine into your body, so that you'll have norepinephrine is also noradrenaline, so you have that extra like oomph at the gym, for lack of a better word, the cellular energy and intensity factor. And dopamine is also something that makes you feel good, so there's a euphoric effect to this ingredient as well. And nobody else is using it at the gram level. I mean, it's a very expensive ingredient, but it was something that I was pretty adamant about using.
Perfect. Next up, lion's mane. Obviously lion's mane is already found in the Pico 2 mushroom blend, but you've added an extra 600 milligram additional lion's mane into the formula. Tell us why.
I like lion's mane for its cognitive benefits,
yep,
as well as performance benefits. So at 600 milligrams, which is a large dose compared to, I think, most companies, somewhere between 200 and 300.
If that.
Yeah, I think that it actually it helps bring out some of the other ingredients and the synergistic effects between the lion's mane and some of the stimulants that we chose to use, and as well as some of the nootropics that we have. So I really like lion's mane. I think it'll catch on, or if it's not already catching on, to be more and more products.
And the lion's mane contains a minimum of 25% beta-D-glucans too. Tell them about the benefits of that.
So mainly the benefits for those are anti-inflammatory. It also helps boost your immune system, and it also can help fight infections and stuff like that. And I think it's I put in there to get this extract mostly for the effects of inflammation, because the less your body's inflamed, the better that your body will perform inside the gym. Of
course. So that's the first section of the formula as such. It is 6.6 grams, and then we move on to the, I'll let you pronounce it because I know you do it better than me.
Exothermic energy amalgam.
Wow, amazing.
Amalgam's one of my favorite words.
So aside from the 6.6 grams that we've already spoke about, what's the total grammage of the exothermic energy amalgam?
I think it's right around 2.7 grams.
2.7 grams. So there you go. The first ingredient in there, so obviously the one with the highest amount, is LTyrosine.
Right, we talked about LTyrosine and how much both of us really like it as a cognitive enhancer. L-tyrosine can convert to dopamine, L-tyrosine converts to thyroid hormone. There's a lot of different biological functions that L-tyrosine helps with. It works better based on the research than N-acetyltyrosine, so I'm not a huge fan of that. Tyrosine has been shown to increase blood levels of tyrosine more than N-acetyl has, so that's why we chose the L-tyrosine version specifically. I think it works really well with the rest of the stimulants in here, and it's one of my favorite cognitive enhancers.
Yeah, certainly from my research as well. I think it's under stressful situations it really helps the cognitive benefits of that.
Yeah.
Next ingredient up, DMAE, otherwise known as dimethyl. I can never pronounce this.
Ethylamide.
Dimethylaminoethanol.
Yeah. Okay. So it's ethyl. This is essentially a choline source. It's a dimethyl instead of trimethyl, so choline is trimethylated and positively charged. This is neutral charge, meaning that it's not positively charged. It can cross the blood-brain barrier, and it can help raise your choline levels to convert then into acetylcholine. It's an ingredient where you can use a lot of it, and it works really well in high doses. I think, without disclosing, there's almost a gram of it in here.
Nice.
And it is a relatively high dose of this ingredient, which I really like.
Yeah.
I discovered this working back at Blackstone. I was trying to think of different ways to raise choline without using, alpha GPC or something, and I found that this one really works well.
Nice. Next up, standard in every single stimulant-based pre-workout, really, one of the most researched ingredients worldwide. Caffeine, of which GC has a caffeine anhydrous and caffeine citrate blend. Right,
so caffeine citrate hits you much more quickly than caffeine anhydrous does, so it almost front loads the caffeine that you get, which is why I put it in there. I like that ingredient a lot. The anhydrous, like he said, is one of the most researched ingredients. Brad Schoenfeld has it on his top 5 list of, there's only 5 ingredients that actually work along with creatine. So caffeine's been tested for years and years and years, and we know how it works, and we know that it does work. So it's a standard to any stimulant-based pre-workout.
Okay, and do you mind disclosing how much caffeine in total is in the product?
Total caffeine is 350 milligrams.
There you go. Next up, I'm going to try on this one as well, N,N-dimethylphenolphthalein citrate.
Right, so this is another PEA derivative or phenylethylamine derivative. It has 2 methyl groups on the amine, which is the nitrogen in that molecule, which help prevent it from getting broken down by monoamine oxidase, which we were just talking about before. It's the enzyme that breaks down all the PEAs. And so this one lasts slightly longer in the body than, say, regular phenylethylamine or N-methyltyramine or something like that. So this one, having those 2 methyl groups, I think it's a stimulant that you can really feel for the majority of your workout.
A sustained period of time, yeah, totally. Next up, Rhodiola rosea root extract. I believe, I was speaking yesterday, this is standardized for salidrosides and rosavins.
Yeah, so it's 3% salidrosides and I think 1% rosavins.
Nice.
And rhodiola is probably one of my favorite adaptogens. An adaptogen is something that is all natural and that benefits your body when you take it in multiple ways. Rhodiola is great for stress, it's great for training and anti-fatigue, especially mental fatigue. I really liked rhodiola when playing around with it, when I put it in Hype Extreme when I was at Blackstone, and ever since then I've been using it almost daily.
Yeah.
And I think it has a really good effect, especially in combination with the lion's mane and some of the other nootropics in here.
For sure, the focus benefits, yeah. Next up, hinginamine. That's how I pronounce it. Let's have the American version.
Hinginamine is one of my favorite stims just because I think it's very underused. It is very strong at certain doses. It does have the PEA backbone, which it is a strong beta-2 adrenal receptor agonist, meaning that it works by stimulating your beta-2 receptors, which is fat burning and central nervous system. I think that the dose that we use is really good. Hinginamine is one of those stimulants that you definitely feel it, and it also has, I think, more of a cognitive benefit than just say caffeine.
Yeah. Next up, this is fairly new. Certainly, when I've first seen the pre-workout, a compound that I've never seen before, Theophylline.
Yeah. So Theophylline, this is the natural anhydrous source of theophylline. Theophylline is also a drug, but it was a supplement first, I believe, so it can be used as a supplement and as a drug depending on the dose.
Yeah.
It's another alkaloid that's in there with caffeine and theobromine, and in the same family. It's pretty strong, in my opinion. It's almost too strong. When we put it in here, we used a certain dose, and I thought it was too much, but James and I went back and forth, and he really liked it, and he thinks that the people that like tons of stims are really going to enjoy theophylline because it's a newer type ingredient most people don't use in products, and it complements really well with some of the other stims in there.
I was going to say, it's like an amplifier almost, isn't it? Yeah.
And it hits really quickly too.
Yeah.
So that with the caffeine citrate, you feel this right away.
For sure. Next up, we've got N-isopropyl-norepinephrine.
So that's a modified version of synephrine to last longer inside the body. The isopropyl group, which is on the amine, does the same thing as when we talked about with N-diphenylethylamine. It helps prevent the breakdown from monoamine oxidase. And so it's a stimulant that's very, very strong, like synephrine, and it's actually much stronger than synephrine and lasts a pretty long time inside the body. Yeah,
it's going to last longer than synephrine. Next up, I can never pronounce that one, so you'll have to go.
Roselyn, 90% extract. So that is the natural form of alpha yohimbine, which I like alpha yohimbine a lot better than regular yohimbine. It's in there for a very specific purpose. It also acts as a monoamine oxidase inhibitor. It helps bring out your dopamine levels. It helps prevent or increases blood flow inside your body. So when you take a lot of stimulants, sometimes you get a vasoconstrictive effect, but alpha yohimbine will help with that too. I like that ingredient a lot. It adds a little bit of kick to the formula. It makes you sweat a lot, so it makes you feeling your workout, but it was specifically added with all the other stimulants in there to hit different aspects of your brain chemistry in order to give a more euphoric feeling.
So working in synergy, almost synergistic effect, of course.
Yeah.
And finally, my favorite subject, it's an acetylcholinesterase inhibitor.
Yes.
Huperzine A we've gone for.
Right, so Huperzine A is pretty common in most cognitive enhancing products. It prevents the breakdown of acetylcholine, which is the neurotransmitter that's excitatory in your brain. It's responsible for memory formation and learning and cognitive function. I really like this ingredient. It works really well at a small dose. You can definitely feel it in there. And that in the combination with the DMAE for the choline source, I think is really good because we're increasing choline and then decreasing the breakdown of acetylcholine inside the brain at the same time.
Yeah.
So the main thing is the energy is a lot of clean focus. I've spent a lot of time with the nootropics in here to get them feeling just right. I added the OConnor that brings everything out. I have certain stimulants in here at certain doses for certain reasons.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be crazy over the top, just pump everyone with stims, but it is pretty strong. like I was saying earlier to Trevor, I don't take a full scoop just because I'm not a huge stim guy anymore.
Yeah.
But I think if you take a lot of stims, you'll be very happy with this.
Definitely. So it's actually available tomorrow at the date of making this video. It's out tomorrow onwards.
It'll be ready for shipping tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
You won't have it in your hands yet, but it'll be ready for shipping tomorrow.
Available in 2 flavours. It's going to be available in the US domestically. It's going to find its way to export too, so hopefully Australia, the UK, Europe, Canada. It'll certainly be available at tnutrition.com with free delivery. So until next time, thank you very much, GC.
Thanks for having me, Trevor.
All the best with your new line.
I appreciate that. Thank you.